Hello, everyone. Welcome to the second episode of On the Case with me, Alex Cardinale, right here on my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. Before we begin today's episode, I'd like to remind all of my viewers and everyone that is watching this video, if you missed my first episode of On the Case with Alex Cardinale, which aired last Monday, where I talked about the Facebook Live murder of Renita Williams. All you've got to do is go on my YouTube channel and go onto the playlist On the Case with Alex Cardinale, and you can see and learn about the Renita Williams Facebook Live murder that I talked about last Monday. I've only got about 10 views on that video, so let's get those views up. But anyways, on today's episode, we are going to talk about another murder. We're going to talk about the murder of 21-year-old gay man Landy Martinez. Now, Landy lived in Florida, and he was shot and killed by his ex-boyfriend. Now, he was more than shot and killed. He was beaten, brutalized, and tortured in his bathroom before he was shot and killed in his bedroom. So I'm going to go over the entire details of this murder. The sad thing about this murder is that it happened 4 days before Christmas in 2011. So just about 10 years ago, this murder took place, and I can't fathom the pain that Landy Martinez family must have felt just 4 days before Christmas, getting notified that they lost their loved one. That must have been horrible. So today, I'm going to tell you all the details about this murder. So I first found out about this murder on one of my favorite channels, which is Investigation Discovery, in a series that's called Murder Calls. Murder Calls is a great crime series. If you haven't seen an episode of Murder Calls, I highly recommend checking it out. I learned about this case on that series. So a lot of the crimes that I'm going to talk about here on the case are going to come from Investigation Discovery and some of the more famous ones that happened in this country, the United States of America. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. And like always, if you have any questions about this particular murder, post them in the comments as always. And if you have any information about this murder that you know, or you want to share your thoughts about this murder, please feel free to post them in the comments, and I will react to them, and I will review your thoughts and your information as well. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. And we're going to start firstly by talking about what to know about this case. Here is some important information to know about this case. This is going to help us set up and lead to the actual crime itself. So, Landy Martinez was raised in Miami, Florida, after moving from Cuba. Now, at the age of 18, Landy told everyone he was gay. Landy Martinez was 21 years old when he was killed by his ex-boyfriend, Jose. So after high school, Landy moved to St. Petersburg, Florida, which is just outside of Tampa Bay, and he found work at an assisted living faculty where he met Gail Rigg. They would soon become best friends, and they had a great friendship. Shout out to Jimmy Lopek, who was tuning in, and he says, like your Christmas tree, Alex. Thank you so much. It is a very gorgeous Christmas tree, and thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you enjoy today's video. So Landy became friends with Gail when they met, and Gail had the following to say about Landy. Landy was a great guy, did his job really well, helped out the residents, and he was an awesome person. Now, for several months, Landy was looking for a relationship, and he finally found someone named Jose Adame online on an online dating website, and they became boyfriends and they entered into a relationship. So for several months, Landy and Jose had a great relationship. They rented an apartment together and were doing great together. Until one day, Landy became terribly upset when Jose asked his best friend Gail's son, who was 11 years old at the time, to go to his apartment to smoke weed and watch pornos. So imagine Jose being 16, 17, or 18 at the time, asking an 11-year-old to go to his apartment to smoke weed and watch pornos. That is highly inappropriate. And I would have done what Landy done also. So this caused Landy Martinez to end the relationship with Jose Adami. Now, Jose was extremely heartbroken and upset over the breakup. So, him being spiteful, he began racking up speeding tickets by speeding past cameras with a car that was registered to both Landy and Jose. So, Landy and Jose both shared a motor vehicle. The tickets went to Landy because Landy's name was on first, and Landy received letters that were demanding payment and the threat of suspending Landy's driver's license. So this led to Landy hatching a plan to get his car back and get Jose's name off the car. He called Jose and told him he would like to get back with him and meet him someplace. Landy went down to the Department of Motor Vehicles, and it is perfectly legal, and he removed Jose from the title. Then Jose and Landy met at a fast food joint. Landy had called police and told the police that he wanted Jose and his stuff out of his vehicle, and Landy drove away. And this infuriated Jose. Jose was upset, stranded in St. Petersburg, Florida, with no family or residence and no car. So this kind of leads to the murder, but what we're going to mention next is actually what caused the murder. So after ending the relationship with Jose and getting his car back, Landy soon began a new relationship with a man named Jonathan. One day, Landy set up a three-way call, and um, Jonathan's listening to Landy Martinez telling Jose that their relationship is over with and that he has moved on. He has a new boyfriend. So at the end of the phone call is when Landy says, oh, by the way, he's listening into this whole phone call. So Jose acted cool during the phone call, but his motive was probably beginning to create the murder scene. So Jose told Jonathan that him and Landy were through. There was nothing to worry about. There was nothing to be jealous of, that he had moved on. He had found a new boyfriend that bought him a red Lexus, and he sent him a picture of a red Lexus with him posing on it like a model, said Detective Judy. Jonathan accepts all this. He says when they hang up on the phone, it's amicable between Jonathan and Jose to let Jose know it was over. Jonathan listened silently. So that was the phone call, and it was revealed by the detectives that this is what led Jose to break into Landy's house and commit the crime, the torture, the beating, and the murder. So the next morning, Jonathan got a text from Landy. The text said, listen, I don't know that I want to be with you anymore. I thought about this. I really love Jose. I miss Jose. I'm going to go back to Jose. But as we're about to find out, it wasn't actually Landy that sent the text message. It was actually Jose during the crime. And now we're going to talk about the actual crime itself. That is just what you needed to know about this case. All right, so let's talk about the torture and murder of Landy Martinez. I can never imagine being put in the situation that Landy was, dealing with a psycho like Jose, and then ultimately having your life taken away from you. Very, very sad case. All right, so like I said earlier, the torture and murder of Landy Martinez took place 4 days before Christmas in 2011. So Landy Martinez was found lifeless in his room. He had been shot and killed and tortured. He had blood on his face, his mouth, on his arms, all over him, said Pinellas County Sheriff Sergeant Robert Snipes. Literally all over him. So Jose Adami hatched a plan to get even with Landy, and it was ultimately to kill him. He had the mentality of, if I can't have you, no one can. So cops say Jose Adami enlisted the help of his 16-year-old nephew, enticing him with the promise of televisions, video games, and computers. So the morning of the crime, Jose and his nephew went to the residence. Landy hears the glass break. He goes back there. He's then confronted by one of the perpetrators, and he's overpowered by the perpetrator, and he's taken to the bathroom where he is duct taped and tortured. And it's really sad what went on in the bathroom. I can't imagine being put in that position. He was stabbed with a knife in the bathroom, and he was forced to drink Drano and put Drano in his eyes. That is just awful. But that is not all. He actually got filmed by Jose in the bathroom as well. The brutality that took place in the bathroom is captured on an iPhone. But the unbelievable thing is the attackers filmed Landy's torture on the wrong phone, which was Landy's own phone, and that helped seal the deal with the detectives that Jose was the suspect. Landy and Jose had matching iPhones, said Detective Judy. They were both the ivory pearl white phones. You couldn't tell them apart by looking at them. Jose got confused which one was his and which one was Landy's, and then they left it behind in the scene. So, like I said earlier, they forced Jose into the bathtub and had Drano, and they told him to either drink it or put it in his eyes. They had a knife and a gun. He was tortured and beaten in the bathroom for at least 2 hours, and that includes being stabbed and having Drano poured on his eyes and him having to drink that. So that is just a horrific scene. On top of that, they made Landy say something along the lines of Jose was never the problem, that Jose was wonderful, and he was very sorry for all the problems that he's ever caused in his life while begging for his own life on camera. So he had to literally praise Jose and beg for his life while being beaten on camera. Then, on top of that, Jose sent text messages to Jonathan, who was Landy's boyfriend at the time, while beating up Landy. So, after torturing Landy in the bathroom, the attackers put him in the bedroom while they ransacked the house. And during those moments alone, Landy managed to call 911. Because Landy was calling from a cell phone, detectives and 911 weren't able to pinpoint his location right away, And if they were able to pinpoint his location right away, it maybe could have saved his life because Jose and his accomplice, his nephew, were stealing things, taking things off the wall, including a television. But unfortunately, back in 2011, cell phones weren't as great as they are now. So it took 911 the 911 dispatchers and the police officers a while to find that Landy was living in an apartment at the time. So that's why he sadly lost his life. So after 20 or 30 minutes, Jose and his nephew broke the door in, and Landy had no choice but to slide the phone under the mattress, and he ran to the other room, and sadly, that's where he was shot in the head and chest. And presumably, that is where he was killed. The 911 call picks up the two shots as well as Landy screaming for help. And I can't imagine being a family member of Landy Martinez and hearing that 911 call, your loved one screaming for help, and you hear the gunshots that took his life. That must have been tragic and horrific to see in court. But anyways, after gunning down Landy Martinez and realizing that he had called 911, Jose Adami and his nephew panicked and took off. Some items were stolen and security cameras were ripped out, which caused Landy's roommates who installed the security cameras because they thought Jose was a shady character, and they were right. Didn't see all this that was going on because the security cameras were ripped out, unfortunately. And that is the murder and torture of Landy Martinez. So the detectives started a lengthy investigation. They checked into Jonathan, and he was ruled out as a suspect. And they checked into many other cases and leads. But the cell phone that Jose filmed Landy on is what led detectives to believe that Jose was the culprit. And later on, in Jose's car, Landy's blood was found. And Jose was arrested and charged with the murder of Landy Martinez. So Jose Adami was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. So he'll spend the rest of his life in prison for the murder of Landy Martinez, and I think he should never ever get out of prison for what he did. Very, very tragic case, and it goes to prove that it is very dangerous dating people online because you never know their true character and you never know what they are capable of. Very, very, very sad case. I know it was probably hard to listen to all the details of this murder. So, what are your thoughts on this case? Let me know in the comments what you think of the case that I just mentioned today. I'm going to end today's video with my thoughts on this case. So, I think that this has to be one of the worst murders that you can ever imagine because you're not only physically harming the victim, you're also doing some mental damage to the victim by forcing them to say some stuff that they don't want to say. And basically, you're humiliating the person on camera. Basically, you're making them praise you while doing horrific things. So this is one of the worst cases that I've ever seen, I've ever watched, and I've ever read about. And I just feel sad for the victim and for the victim's family. This is just a terrible tragedy that happened over jealousy and over a broken relationship. And Jose is the reason his relationship got broken in the first place. So just a sad, sad murder, tragic murder that did not need to happen. If Jose grew up, found somebody else, his life could have been better as well. But in the end, Jose got what he deserved, life in prison without the possibility of parole, and now he will rot in prison for the rest of his life, hopefully while thinking about what he put Landy through, and hopefully he'll have to relive the begs for help and the death gasp. All right, and that is this week's episode of On the Case with Alex Cardinale. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode. So, if you enjoyed today's video, please make sure to leave a like on the video. Your likes are very important. I appreciate them. I appreciate your view, whether it's a live view or if you're watching this video on the archive. I really appreciate your view. It means a lot to me. If you're new to my channel, hit that subscribe button and turn the bell notifications on to be notified the next time I go live. I really, really appreciate your view. All right, so next Monday is going to be the final episode of On the Case with Alex Cardinale for 2021, because after next Monday, the following 2 Mondays are going to be Christmas-themed videos and also New Year-themed videos. So the following 2 Mondays are going to be holiday-themed videos. But after that, we will return with a special episode of On the Case with Alex Cardinale. But I'll talk about that at the end of next week's video. So next week, I'm going to talk about the tragic death of Jared Jones, who was an American hero who fought in the Iraq wars, or he fought for Iraq as a soldier. Very young person. I think he was like either a year younger than me or a year older than me. Sadly, he was killed from creeping, aka Johnning, which is basically a type of scam that is run out of prisons, and these inmates are basically scamming USA military men by posing as young women and trying to get money. So next Monday, find out about the tragic death of a former U.S. Marine, Jared Jones. That's going to air at 10:30 p.m. Eastern, 7:30 p.m. Pacific, right here on the Case with Alex Cardinale, here on my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. So, do you have a crime you would like to see me discuss? Let me know in the comments what crimes you want me to discuss, and I will make sure that I discuss it for you. This is a relatively new series, and I'm all about entertaining my fans. So if you have a crime you want me to talk about, let me know, and I will talk about it for you. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you today. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. Thank you for watching this video. Make sure to give me a like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you for watching. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and stay safe, everybody. Legendary Alex Cardinale here to announce the legendary Alex Cardinale subscriber giveaway presented by Texas Roadhouse. This giveaway is for all of you, all 16,000 of you subscribed to my YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. On Sunday, March 6, 2022, I will be celebrating my 8th year as a YouTuber. I will be hosting my 8-year YouTube anniversary. And in order to celebrate that, I'm going to say thank you to my 16,000 subscribers by hosting a prize giveaway presented by Texas Roadhouse. The prize for this giveaway is a customized $75 Texas Roadhouse gift card signed by yours truly, the legendary Alex Cardinale. I will sign the gift card and send it your way. So here is how to enter this contest to win a $75 Texas Roadhouse gift card. Film a video discussing your favorite meal at Texas Roadhouse and your favorite video of mine and favorite thing about my YouTube channel. Now, if you have never eaten at Texas Roadhouse before, then just discuss your favorite video of mine and your favorite thing about my YouTube channel. Email the video to alexgoyankiecardinale19@gmail.com by March 1st, 2022. Anyone that is subscribed to my channel can enter. So I suggest entering so that you can have an all-exclusive entree, appetizer, and dessert, and maybe even a margarita at Texas Roadhouse, courtesy of the legendary Alex Cardinale. So enter right now. Deadline for entry is Tuesday, March 1st, 2022. All video entries will be uploaded to my YouTube channel and the legendary Alex Cardinale subscriber giveaway playlist. Video with the most likes and views wins. The winner will be announced live on March 6th, 2022 during my 8-year YouTube anniversary. Good luck, everybody. Enter now. Remember, entry's deadline is March 1st. Stay legendary, everybody. Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas, everyone. Santa Claus Alex Cardinale here, inviting you to be a part of the inaugural Christmas 2021 Bash, airing live just 2 days before Christmas, Thursday, December 23rd, 2021, at 11:15 p.m. Eastern, 8:15 p.m. Pacific. Join me, Santa Claus Alex Cardinale, for a fun Christmas 2021 bash, featuring an appearance from Chef Alex with Chef Alex's best cookie recipes. I have a very important message to give as Santa Claus, and I'll give out Christmas present ideas and so much more. Merry Christmas, everyone, and happy holidays. Mark your calendars, Thursday, December 23rd, 2021, 11:15 p.m. Eastern, 8:15 p.m. Pacific. Christmas 2021 Bash, live right here on Alex's YouTube channel, the legendary Alex Cardinale. See you then, folks. Merry Christmas.